we're going to tell you how you can put away more than $40,000 for your child's education by saving less than the cost of your daily latte. We're also going to show you how working out with a personal trainer can be a great motivator and time saver without giving that wallet of yours a workout.
Racing, pull.
Plus, how paying for that gym membership might not be the best option to keep you financially fit.
I use my gym membership rarely to ever.
Later, we'll expose the secret tips private parking lots don't want you to know about to get you out of paying for those parking tickets.
In North America, the average cost of university tuition for a four-year degree is over $20,000. And once books and housing are factored in, the total comes close to $40,000. And all of that is expected to more than double in the next 18 years. That's overwhelming to most parents. Dylan and Christine have lived the student's life themselves, studying, holding down part-time jobs, and carrying student debt. So it's important to them they'll be able to help their daughter Charlotte when it's time for her to go to school. We're going to show them how they can be well prepared to do just that.
I know when I went to school it was really expensive, so I want to be able to give Charlotte what my parents gave me, which was help with my education.
And I want to be able to give Charlotte what my parents couldn't give me,
Right.
an education.
You're putting money away now every month, $100. Does that feel like a financial strain?
No, we're hoping when I go back to work that we can put more away.
Now, where are you putting that money each month?
It's one of those high interest savings account.
If they put $100 a month into a savings account, they will have $21,600 in 18 years. With a generous 5% interest rate, they could also earn $13,000 on top of that. They would have to pay $2,600 in income tax because of the interest earned, but they could end up with a total of $32,000.
That won't even pay her rent.
Yeah, that's not even a semester.
So a better option for your family would be to consider an RESP. That way, you can pretty much guarantee that you'll have enough money for Charlotte when she heads off to school.
You've probably heard of an RRSP, a Registered Retirement Savings Plan. Contributions are tax deductible, and any interest you earn is also exempt from tax while the funds remain in the plan. But you do get taxed if you cash that in or make any withdrawals. But this is an RESP, a Registered Education Savings Plan. And the biggest difference here is you don't get a tax break from your contributions, but the government will top you up. Government grants will match 20% of the first $2,500 you put in each year, so up to $500 a year, for a lifetime max of $7,200 per child. The more you can put in early, the better, because you'll get your top-up right away and your money will have longer to earn interest. So let's see what would happen if Dylan and Christine put their same savings into an RESP instead.
If you invested $100 each month for the next 18 years, you'd have just over $21,000 when Charlotte's 18.
Plus, don't forget you're getting the government top-ups, which in your situation would be just over $4,000. So you'd add that to the total.
At 5% interest, you'd have $16,000 in interest.
So when Charlotte's ready to go to school, she'll have about $41,000.
That's like 2 years.
If Dylan and Christine are hoping to pay for more than half of Charlotte's overall education costs, they're going to have to up their savings.
So even if you could take an additional $30 each from your paycheck, another $60, you'd have over $70,000.
Okay, now we're talking. That's the kind of money we're looking for.
Due to the glory of compound interest.
Yeah.
So even if you can up your child's education savings just by a little bit every month, if you start early enough, it will make a huge difference.
We'll have a good start for you.
With an RESP, you don't pay tax on the interest earned like you do with other savings. When the child takes the money out to pay for school, it's taxed at their income level, not yours. Another major bonus.
Now, if she has a part-time job, is that going to affect the money we're putting aside?
Well, even if she does have a part-time job, she'll still be most likely in the lowest tax bracket.
Generally, when you have the write-offs of the tuition and the textbooks and the living expenses of being a student, you do fairly well in terms of low taxes.
You can hold any kind of investment in an RESP, from a savings account to mutual funds or stocks. But this is money vital to your child's future, so you don't want high risk. Be sure to speak with a financial advisor to get the best advice for you.
If our daughter wants to go to school, that's great, and to be able to support that takes pressure off of us if we're prepared.
If your child decides not to continue after high school, you'll lose the government contributions, but you will get all the money you put in back.
A little bit we put away now can really pay off in the future, and you know, 70 grand, that's a good number.
Scholarships are often an overlooked source of post-secondary education funding. There's virtually billions of dollars in private scholarships up for grabs every year, and over $10 million of that goes to waste.
Start your search close to home. Check with your employer, cultural centers, churches, even other local businesses.
All they'll have to do is write an essay or fill out a form. They can apply for more than one, and it's an easy way to help that free money add up.
It's easier than ever to find out what options are available to you. But don't pay a fee thinking you're going to get access to more funds.
Usually all they'll do is just send you a list of scholarships you could have found yourself, and there's no reason to pay for free money.
Most of us know what this feels like.
Ugh, I got a parking ticket.
You don't make it to your car in time, and suddenly your day turns very expensive. We're on a crusade to find out if you really have to pay parking tickets from private lots. Still to come, Katie and Sandra get the goods from an expert, and later, they'll try to negotiate their way out of a pricey parking fine.
Is there any way you could waive this amount?
Up next, thought personal trainers were only for the rich and famous? We have money-saving tips for getting in shape. What are the top 3 ways to get a discount on your monthly gym fees? Find out after the break. What are the top 3 ways to get a discount on your monthly gym fees? Ask for a discount if you only work out in off-peak hours, if you are a long-time customer, or if you get certified and volunteer to teach a class. Personal trainers are considered a luxury that feels out of reach for a lot of us. Geneva is a busy single mom who dreams of being whipped into shape. But she struggles to find the time and motivation to work out, let alone the extra cash for a trainer. We have money-saving tips that can make her goal a reality.
The money issues are, for instance, having a gym membership and not actually using it. Thinking about getting a trainer, but they seem to be really expensive.
If you like the idea of working with a personal trainer, but you're a bit concerned about money and time, one thing you might want to consider is an online personal trainer.
Geneva is paying $35 a month for a gym membership she doesn't use. So by switching to an online trainer for just $20, she can save almost half and work out at home. Virtual trainers offer a variety of workout videos to fit your needs. Look for a site that also has experts who can answer your fitness questions by email.
I'm not really sure that something from a screen is going to actually make me do that compared to somebody, yelling over my shoulder.
Well, she'll never know unless she tries it, and the price is certainly right. You can find an online trainer by searching online trainer on the web. There are tons of them, but take advantage of a few free trials before you commit.
So what do you think, this or a personal trainer?
Well, I still kind of think I'd go for the personal trainer, somebody to really push me a lot harder, make sure I'm doing it well. On the other hand, I'm not sure I can afford the luxury of a personal trainer.
We'll show Geneva that there are options for face-to-face personal training sessions and also plenty of ways to save. The priciest option is to have a trainer come to her house for about $80 an hour. That might be fine for those really tight on time, but not floor space. We've scheduled a training session for Geneva at a private gym. These typically start at $60 for an hour. You can cut this cost by up to half if you find a newly certified trainer who needs the hours or is trying to build up clientele. Now that's being a smart cookie.
You ready to work out? Here we go.
Before you sign up with a trainer, make sure their price includes the admission to the gym you'll be using. If it doesn't, ask for a lower rate on the session or keep shopping around. Nina has been a personal trainer for 5 years and has some insider training tips on how to get more for less.
And what if you've never been to a personal trainer before and you want to see if you're getting your money's worth or if you mesh with the trainer? Can you get a free consultation?
A lot of facilities will kind of give you that first session at no expense.
Ask if you can save by booking half-hour sessions and finish off the hour yourself. Or if you decide to commit, Nina says look at buying a number of sessions at once and see if you can get a discount. And get more out of your session by warming up or doing cardio on your own time.
Pull, relax those shoulders down.
We like to cut costs by working out together.
7. Remember to breathe. 1 more.
Once you find a trainer you like, ask if you can have a free session for every referral you send their way, and then tell all your friends. If one-on-one training still feels pricey, or you don't have a friend who wants to share, some trainers do group sessions with about a dozen or so people for about $25 per person. It isn't as personal, but they'll still make sure you work hard. So to sum it all up, a personal trainer will cost an average of $60 a session. Group training sessions will be about $25. An online trainer will cost about $20 per month for unlimited sessions. So which will Geneva go for?
If I had best of all worlds, I would do both, you know? Like have a personal trainer once a week and then use the online during the week. I think the online by itself wouldn't motivate me enough, and I definitely like the personal trainer pushing me, but I know that financially I think it's a little bit too much to do it more than once a week for me.
At $30 and up, parking tickets generate huge cash. Katie and Sandra are on a crusade to find out if you really have to pay the heavy fines handed out by private parking companies.
I got a parking ticket. There is nothing worse than getting a ticket, especially when it comes with some outrageous fee. But I want to know, do I really have to pay it?
And really, what's the worst thing that could happen if you just didn't pay it? I do know that if it's from a city-owned lot, you definitely have to pay, but if it's from a privately owned lot like this, I'm not sure.
So we're going to see if there's anything we can do to get out of paying this.
Katie and Sandra are on their way to find out if private companies really can get away with charging such hefty fines. They're getting the scoop from one of the top contract lawyers in the city. Christopher Gora says when it comes to parking, you can't ignore the signs.
Chris, we have this ticket. It's from a private lot. We were only a few minutes late. But we heard that you might not have to pay it because it's not a government-owned lot.
Very briefly, when you enter a lot, there will be posted terms and conditions. And those terms and conditions will usually say that by driving in and parking, you agree to those terms, and then a contract is formed between you and the parking lot company.
So are we obligated to pay this ticket?
Coming up, find out if it's possible to get out of paying a parking fine and why ignoring a ticket can get you into trouble.
Is there any way you could waive this amount?
And many people are throwing away good money on their gym memberships. We'll show you how to make yours stretch. Plus, how can you get your whole family fit and save money? We'll tell you when we come back. How can you get your whole family fit and save money? Many gyms and community centers offer family passes, and the cost is sometimes less than 2 adult passes. So even if you don't have children, check it out. Research shows that most people with gym memberships don't get their money's worth because they overestimate how often they'll go. We're hitting the streets to show you how to keep both you and your budget in good shape.
How often do you visit the gym?
Oh, once a week, and I slide a little.
Probably 10 times in 3 months.
Exactly 0 times to the gym.
I use my gym membership rarely to ever.
You may think that a membership is a good deal because you hope to go at least 3 to 5 times per week. But studies show that only 1 in 5 people go that often.
And how much does it cost you each month?
$65 a month.
Probably about $100 for 3 months.
$11.
Of course, the fewer times you go, the pricier each visit becomes.
And if you're going once every 2 weeks, that's only twice a month. So it costs you $32.50 each time you go to the gym, assuming you go only twice a month.
Right.
How do you feel about that?
That's not so good.
And if you're going 10 times in 3 months at $100, that's $10 per use. Does that seem good to you?
It seems quite high, actually.
So we're going to show you the numbers. It's not going to be a lot. It's only $132. But that's $132 that you're basically throwing away because you haven't gone.
A lot of people are reluctant to cancel a membership, but we believe in stretching. Your money, that is.
Do you ever travel or leave for a month at a time or a couple weeks at a time?
Maximum I'd go away for would be about 2 weeks for vacation.
Okay. And have you ever asked your gym, can I put my membership on hold for that time or get a discount?
No, I've never thought of it because it's a very regimented gym, so I think that there's a lot less flexibility sometimes. But you're right, I probably should ask.
It's always worth the question.
And I recently took a buyout from work, so now I'm looking at my money. And so I am going to, it'll come up again in about a month and a half, and I'll just let it slide.
Will you? And then what are you going to do instead?
Well, everything outdoors, everything that doesn't cost money.
Yeah, and you know what a great option too is that you can download personal podcasts, so it's like you have a personal trainer with you while you're running outside or doing your activities outside.
You're just a bit more tech than I am. I run. I just run with the dog. No electrical.
Nothing ruins a day or a budget like getting a ticket, so we're on a crusade to find out if parking fines are negotiable. We already know that city parking tickets are regulated by bylaws, so skipping out can mean trouble. Katie and Sandra are talking to a contract lawyer to see if the same applies to tickets from private parking lots.
So are we obligated to pay this ticket?
Well, you always have the choice not to pay the ticket, but you should know what the repercussions are.
Christopher says it could be sent to a collection agency, or you could be sued for breach of contract.
And if it gets sent to the collection agency, what can I do?
If you dispute the ticket, then theoretically the collection agency is not allowed to report that debt to credit agencies.
Really?
Interesting.
Well, that's a relief. That means your credit won't be affected while you're sorting the ticket out. But not all areas play by the same rules, so check with the parking company to see how much time you have to dispute their ticket.
Is there any way to negotiate if you're, say, 5 minutes late just to pay a little bit more instead of the full ticket price?
It's always a possibility to negotiate a ticket, and the reason that is that you may actually have valid arguments why that ticket is not necessarily enforceable. Arguments that you could make are that the terms and conditions weren't clearly posted when you were parking, so you actually didn't know what you were getting into. Another possible legal argument is that the fine that you have to pay on that ticket is so disproportionate to the hourly charge that you were paying that the contract shouldn't be enforced.
Christopher warns that if you have outstanding tickets and park in the same lot, they do have the right to tow you.
I would encourage you at least to kind of contact the parking lot company and the collection agency, put them on notice that you're disputing the ticket, attempt to negotiate something. Whether you're going to be successful or not, I can't predict, but it's worth a try.
And trying could be worth money. So armed with the facts, Katie and Sandra are eager to try to talk their way out of their parking ticket. See how far a little negotiating will take them later in the show. And how can you work out for free and learn at the same time? Find out when we come back. How can you work out for free and learn at the same time? Keep your eye out for free running clinics offered by local running stores or community centers. You can meet people and become a better runner. We can all relate to the dreaded parking ticket, but is there any room to negotiate the stiff fine from a private lot? Katie and Sandra are on the crusade, and with advice from a contract lawyer, they're determined to try to get the price down on their ticket.
So the lawyer said we do have to pay the ticket or there could be more fines.
And not to ignore the ticket because you could be reported to a collections agency. But we do know there is room for negotiation.
So it is absolutely worth a phone call.
Private lots can be individually owned, but the company name you see on the ticket is the Parking Management Company, and they determine the prices.
I got a ticket in your lot just today. I was just running a few minutes late, and I'm wondering if there's any way you can help me.
No, unfortunately at this time, we do require that you pay the entire amount of your ticket.
Always taking the time to ask is a smart cookie rule.
but so is being polite. You never know what it could get you.
I'm wondering maybe if I paid the time that I was over, maybe we could come to some kind of agreement.
We can't just have you pay for the time that you were over, unfortunately. I could reduce it from the original violation fee of $39.59 to $26.75.
Is there any way you can make it any lower?
No, that's our policy. That's the final reduction that I can offer you today.
Be sure to ask for a confirmation number or the customer service rep's name, just in case your reduction doesn't go through as promised.
So if you can make a note on my account, I will send my payment in shortly. Thanks. Amazing. A 5-minute phone call and I reduced my bill from $39.59 to $26.75. That's over a $13 savings. Definitely worth making a short phone call.
Negotiating like this will likely work only once or twice. Companies will be less willing to help you out if you're always getting parking tickets.